guy.
Incoming guest.
Incoming big man.
Here he is. The man, the myth, the legend is Mr. Kevin McHale.
Oh.
I'm going to be, I don't really know, I'm going to make a guess.
90
pounds. 90 pounds.
I wish.
More.
Back to my birth weight, 90 pounds.
Yes. How are you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm sorry to all your fans who had to get rid of Joe.
No, honestly, no. We love every single one of the guests here. It's just because basically, I don't know if you heard earlier, we've probably filmed with Joe more than anyone else ever in our lives.
Well,
so
he seems like a
Joe
good dude.
well. He's incredible. He's taken on like 3 jobs at once in TV, so he's filming for literally everything right now, which is incredible. But yeah, how are you? How's everything out in LA? I know it's a slightly different scene over there to us. I know you guys aren't quite as tight a lockdown, but it is still a lockdown.
I think they are.
I don't think it's actually as tight as our one. You know, what kind of lockdown status are you on?
We I don't know if it's as strict as yours, but we've been doing it for longer.
Yes,
Yeah,
we've definitely been doing it for longer because our team texted us a couple of weeks ago when we weren't on lockdown, and they were like, "Why did you guys go out?" We were like, "Oh, we're allowed to still. Like, if it's necessary."
They were literally scared for our like socials. They were like, "You know, it worried us when we saw you outside. We thought like you were going to get arrested or something." We were like, "No, we're fine."
Yeah, like we can go to the grocery store and things like that.
Right.
But we're supposed to otherwise stay at home. And I think today is my 23rd day.
Oh, wow. That's impressive. I think we're on
some people dye their hair. I'm growing a mustache.
Clap for the mustache. Are you going off? And I hate myself because I never remember his name, so I'm gonna have to say
Austin?
Mr. Schuster.
Oh
no. he had
Matthew Morrison.
Yes.
Big man. He had a wonderful mustache at X Factor. Are you going for that kind of look?
I don't know if I have the commitment in me to go that. His was like big. Like that's like
his was there. It was intense. You saw him enter the room when he came in.
Yeah, exactly. The mustache a couple seconds before. Oh, it wasn't. Well, you didn't miss anything.
I would just like to say, Kevin. Oh, cool. I'd just like to say one of the charities that we're supporting, Sebastian's Action Trust, they just wanted to say thank you to you. I just saw in the comments, they said thank you for just being here and helping the charity.
No, thank you guys for doing this. This is so good you guys are doing this.
It's honestly not at all a problem. We're so happy to be doing it, and you're helping just by being here, which is incredible for us. So another thing as well is that the other charity that we're supporting is the Royal Manchester Children's Hospital. They're doing an amazing job at what they're doing right now, which is just helping people, basically saving lives of young kids that are kind of struggling through this time right now. So I just thought I'd explain that to you, so you know a bit more of what's going on.
I appreciate it.
Sorry.
Oh no, it is wild to see, and I always feel like through some of the worst of times, you do get to see the best of people and organizations, and people like you who raise awareness and money for these organizations that are actually on the front lines saving lives. And I think here, because it's been going on a little bit longer than where you guys are, we're about 2 weeks, I think, ahead of you in terms of how serious all of this is.
Yeah,
and how necessary it is for the outside support for doctors and health officials and all the people working on the front line. So it's well done for this. And
yes,
thank you to all the doctors and the cleaners and the staff, all the people who are working, who still have to go to work.
Yeah.
I'm just going to plug you in real quick.
Yeah, Max
that was
just
lovely.
Some charge.
I'm going to give you some charge.
I appreciate it.
Not you personally, but my phone is dying on us. So I'm just going to...
We're going to swap out the phones after this hour.
There we go.
So what hour is this for you guys?
This is hour 3 or 4. 3. This is hour 3 going on.
No, it's not.
So this is going to be great for me.
Hours and 40 minutes.
Because for anyone here watching, like I'll still be up and awake, and you guys will probably be struggling.
Dead. Yeah. I've been up today since 10 a.m. and it's now 8:40.
I was wondering. I feel like did you guys sleep a lot last night?
He woke up at 2:30.
Yeah, I saw on Instagram. I was like, what are they doing?
No, I woke up because I had to. So have you ever? I may have mentioned, you may have met him once at the X Factor thing. Our friend Tom, the really tall guy, he was with me all this morning, basically testing the live streams, making sure it would actually work, because we haven't tested it downstairs. Me and Max, when we do live streams at the moment, we've been doing them all upstairs, but we needed to do these ones downstairs for them to kind of like work and pan out and all that kind of stuff.
So you can't leave where you are right now?
Basically, we actually were not meant to be in this room. We started in a different room, and now we've managed to migrate here because the signal's better here. So that's what happened. So you should have seen the start. It was a mess. It was the best mess to a start, running around going, why is my Wi-Fi working? And the funny thing is, the Wi-Fi gets so much better when we guest someone. We feel like we're stealing their Wi-Fi.
Feel free. Steal my Wi-Fi.
Thank you so much. Our country is not doing well with Wi-Fi at the moment. Everything is crashing.
Neither. Didn't YouTube like reduce the clarity of their videos or whatever? Like now the recommended one is like 720 because
you're probably right. You're probably correct.
Because everybody's just at home on YouTube and on Netflix and stuff.
Yeah, It's ridiculous. Now I have a question for you, Kevin, because obviously we know. Well, I know, and I know a lot of your fans know, but maybe not a lot of our fans know that you have a podcast, which is really cool. I've listened to many an episode, especially the X Factor one you released. I gave that a listen, and also there are so many other ones where you give so many cool insights back to obviously Glee, which was how many years ago now that you finished?
5.
Wow, that's a lot. That's actually not a long time,
half
but
of your life.
That's a lot of years without a wheelchair.
Yeah, it's true. I still have it.
So what would you say is like a key tip to kind of like hosting a podcast? Like what do you guys do? Because I know you do it with Jenna. What do you always do to kind of like set them up and record them and all that kind of stuff?
Well, luckily for us, because Jenna and I have known each other for so long, that it just makes it easy because we know how the other person thinks and speaks, and so we don't really have to do that much.
Incredible.
But I mean, like now, because we've turned it into like a Glee recap series. So we've been, the 12th episode came out yesterday. And so we're going through, we'll see if we get to the entire series of Glee.
That's amazing.
But that's been actually a lot of fun because the only prep you really have to do is just watch the episode and then we get to talk about it, because a lot of it, I mean, the first season came out 10 years ago. So we don't really remember a lot of it, or like storylines and things like that. And so luckily, because she and I went through the same experience and she is one of my best friends, we can just sort of like sit and reminisce. And we're really lucky that we also have like a great producer who helps us record all of it. And luckily people have been listening. So
you know
if you're bored and have nothing to do, you can rewatch or watch for the first time.
If you want to listen to the best podcast out there at the moment, listen to Kevin's podcast. What is quite funny is our little brother and sister, obviously, when Glee was massive and booming and always on, when we watched it, everyone saw it, but our little brother and sister were a bit young for that, so they didn't really see it. Literally, in this quarantine time, they have just started watching Glee, and they're already on season 3. They're already on season 3. They started the first season like last week, and they're already on season 3. So it took me. So basically, as soon as we finished X Factor, when Max and I went on holiday, we were actually still working, but it was a holiday.
You guys don't ever have a break.
No, it's bad. I started watching Glee, and it took me till about end of February, I think, to finish it. So about 3 months.
I can't believe you watched all of it.
But this is the thing. It's genuinely, because when I first watched it, I was probably about 9. So none of the jokes made any sense to me.
Right.
And I went back through and watched it, and it is literally one of the funniest things I've ever watched. Because they pushed it so much.
Yeah.
I
think watching it now too, you're like, ooh, some of these don't work.
Like, oh my God.
You can't say that.
One of the lines that resonates in my head so much is, you think this is hard, try getting waterboarded. That's hard. Like, that's just terrible.
Yeah, that's like the first line in the whole series or something. Like, it's... Yeah. And I forgot all of that. And watching it back, you're like, oh, God, how did we get away? It was a different time. Different time.
Jane Lynch gives me life. Yeah. All of her one-liners.
Oh, she's the best.
Are just incredible. Every line that comes out of her mouth is impeccable. Especially when, forgive me if I'm wrong, I think her name's Becky Jackson, comes in.
When
Yes.
Becky comes in, all of those scenes, I just cry. I remember crying
So
with
good.
laughter. They're so good.
We're hoping to get, I think Jane Lynch will be on a future episode of our podcast. I
That's
talked to her
awesome.
last
Incredible.
night, so hopefully.
I was going to ask another question, because obviously we want to, you know, people that love Glee will obviously want to go and watch. Sorry, not watch, but listen to the podcast. What can you give us anything now that you've previously talked about this in a past episode? That's like, I guess something that's like, because I don't want to be too kind of like presentery and, you know, interviewing. But what would you say is like the most interesting or exciting experience? I know you mentioned obviously when Brittany was on the show, that was weird. I
Yeah.
remember you said that was a really weird experience.
It was really strange. Yeah, it was things like that. I think when like we had, I think it started second season or something, where we had a lot of really famous people on the show, and that was just very strange. Like when you have Britney Spears and like Gwyneth Paltrow on, you're like, what are you doing here? Like, because when something is that successful.
Episodes.
What was that?
The Adina Menzel, I think that's how you say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Adele
Yeah,
Mazine.
Yeah, exactly.
John Travolta.
Like, it's very strange because like we felt like we were doing this little show, and you can't necessarily feel if the show is successful or not when you're making it. And so that has been like a lot of fun now, like hearing from fans and things who watched the show and like how they watched it and what it meant to them, and going back and thinking about like, oh yeah, we were just like going to work, having fun with our friends, and then, you know, an Oscar winner shows up and is on the show, and you're like, what is happening? So like we were fanning out a lot of the time, and then people watching it became fans, and so it was just really weird because we didn't know any better. It was our first thing, and so the show became successful.
The songs were all
this
great.
Is strange.
Every single song choice, whoever was coming up with
I
those.
saw Kevin posted that the only artist to get near or pass them on the most Billboard Top 100s is Drake, because they've got like what, 280 something top 100s.
Yes, so the official chart here is the Billboard chart, and until I think last week or the week before, we were tied with Drake for the amount of entries in the top 100, and now he's passed us. But like, I don't think we should count anyway because we were just doing cover songs. Like, Drake has had hundreds of original songs. Like, that is impressive.
Yeah, but also half of the ones that you guys did better than the original songs. So that's impressive in itself.
But that's because they were good songs. We just sang them.
Yeah. I have another question actually. With the whole kind of like, because obviously you mentioned it. It felt like it was quite a small show. Until you actually realized that it started getting massive. But was there a lot of like, because me watching it personally, it seems like there's a lot of room for kind of improvising. Was there any kind of like improvised lines or anything like that? Or was it
not really? It was almost none of it was improvised because the writing was just good. I always ask Jane, and I still ask people. We have in an upcoming podcast episode, we have one of the creators on, and we all talked about that because it always seemed like Jane maybe would throw in a line every now and then, but like they didn't really ever have to because the stuff was just funny and absurd.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely was.
So who was one of the main writers that you say sort of came up with the best like one-liners?
There was a guy named Ian Brennan so the creators of the show were Ryan Murphy, Brad Falchuk, and Ian Brennan.
I know Brad because he's the one that's the piano player. He's so funny.
Oh yeah, that's
one of my
that's a
favorite
different Brad.
When Blaine walks in and he talks to him and he's like, Brad, you gotta warn me. So funny.
Ian would write all of Sue Sylvester stuff.
Right. So that's the guy. That is the guy.
That's like into the brain of Ian.
That's incredible. No, that's so good. Honestly, so I can't deal with some of the one-liners that they have in Glee because it doesn't even have to. A lot of them, it's my kind of humor because it kind of doesn't make sense. But then when you think deep down about it, it makes so much sense. But it still doesn't. But it's so funny.
Oh yeah, like some of the. Someone also mentioned this lately. We were talking about it of like how they would always like onion a joke, where the joke would start off going one direction, like Sue Sylvester and Sylvester says a joke. I'm gonna butcher it. It was something like when she's threatening Mr. Shu, Like, I'm going to buy you a cat,
I know
let you fall in
exactly
love
what
with
you
it,
mean.
and then I'm going to steal away into your house in the middle of the night and punch you in the face. Like,
yeah, no, she said, no, I know the exact line. It's something along the lines of, I'm gonna buy you a little kitty cat. I'm gonna let you care for the kitty cat, love the kitty cat, grow fond of it so much so that it's like close to your heart. I'm gonna steal into your house in the middle of the night and punch you in the face. It's
yeah,
so
or it's
good.
like, what? Like, what is that?
That's great.
What are you doing?
Honestly, so
It's
it's
so
stuff
odd.
like, it's the quick stuff like that, and especially Kurt's lines as well. And you have so many. It's more on your side of the jokes. I love how quiet they are and how sort of inserted they are. Like at the end, like there could be a massive argument, then it cuts to you going and then saying something hilarious like underneath it. It's all so well thought out. Like all your characters have the perfect amount of comedy.
They would
And
also
then
just, when you're around people so often, like they would just start writing for us as real people. So they would just like tell us, like, throw in this line. I'm like, okay.
I think your character especially seemed to be almost like not the fourth wall breaker as much, but you'd be the one that basically like
Fully
questions
became
everything.
me.
Like you'd just be like, what?
Yeah.
Like if someone said something that made absolutely no sense, but like their character would say it, you'd question it anyway.
I was the audience. I was the one acting. I was like,
yeah.
let me say how you're feeling watching this.
Nah, honestly, it's the best. So Kevin,
Yes.
we've done this so far with, I think, about 2 or 3 people, maybe 2, and basically we're asking these people. We're trying to do this game with the people that will give the most different answers, basically. And as you're from America, so currently you know all the people that we've done the game with. We started with Vinny, which was exceptionally challenging. Incredible. It was incredible.
I'm sure.
And then we actually moved. We did it with Dermot, and Dermot had possibly the smartest yet funniest answers we've had. And now we're going to do this question. We're going to do this game with you. It's called the Weird Questions game. These questions make absolutely no sense to anything in your life. Some of them are all right. Some of them are just plain weird. And I'm actually going to start with quite a funny one that I haven't asked anyone yet, because I haven't got through all of them. And the first question is, what's the most depressing meal you've eaten?
Ooh, since in quarantine?
Ever. Just ever, yeah. But sure, in quarantine as well, maybe.
Well, in quarantine, I think the saddest meal was, I had hot dogs for several days in a row.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like at first it's like, oh, this is fun. This is like a whole, I don't normally have hot dogs. And then on like day 4, because you're trying to eat through everything you have stocked up, you're like, yeah, like this is just depressing.
No more hot dogs.
Yeah, it's terrible.
This is quite a weird one. What would be the best thing you could reasonably expect to find in a cave?
Sorry, say it again.
What would be the best thing
you
could reasonably expect to find in a cave?
I mean, there has to be like treasure somewhere.
I will take treasure because it's quite
like filled with tons of money, like winning the lottery, then you can buy an island.
Yeah, that is probably the best thing. You can buy an island. What's the most ridiculous thing you've bought? An island.
Ooh. I once bought like a really fancy poncho.
I'm excited about that. You wait right there.
Like a cashmere poncho, and it was, one of my friends is in the comments and he'll know what I'm talking about. It was thousands of dollars.
That's incredible.
It didn't actually fit me. I was just like, I've never bought anything nice for myself. I'm gonna buy this thing, and then I ended up giving it to Ryan Murphy actually, because I was like, I don't know what to do with this. Here's a gift for you, sir.
Fair enough. I love that he now knows that he was re-gifted. Effectively, he was given. I mean, it was a very expensive.
He was with me when I bought it. He encouraged me to buy it, and then I bought it and never wore it. I was like, you should probably take this from me. Yeah.
Oh, Max is about to just be an idiot for like 30 seconds, right, so please just brace.
We'll carry on the game after. But what was the poncho that you had, Kevin?
What brand was the poncho?
It was some stupid fancy thing. It was bad.
It was just bad. That's
it was
the
like
brand.
it was excessive.
Right. Well.
If you want excessive, you've got that right here, coming into the shop. It's a Supreme poncho.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's way better and way more functional than the one I had.
This is the good stuff. I mean, to be
Yeah.
fair, it's the quality of a bin bag. Like, literally, I'm pretty sure before this, it was a bin bag. Like, look, these are the straps for a bin bag.
Or a
This
trash
is-
bag. A trash
Wait,
bag.
where do you get that?
So I actually, do you know what is really funny? I bought this T-shirt to get this. So it's a free gift. So actually, I didn't buy it, to be fair. It is worth £20, which is quite incredible for a poncho. But I bought this T-shirt for like £30 or something, which is a very nice Supreme T-shirt, but it's not that expensive.
Max is
And
just
then-
out here literally telling you
and
exactly how much he spent.
And then, because, sorry everyone. And then this, so you get really lucky if this comes with it. And I bought the T-shirt in the first week of the Supreme drops. I'm sure you know how it works. And this came with the post. So you can get like Supreme stickers, and then they have one gift every season. This is that
That's
gift.
way better.
And I have never, this is better than the T-shirt that I bought. I was more wasn't I more happy about this than the T-shirt? You were there. He was very upset because he didn't get one. But
I
there
would
you
be
go.
too. That's awesome.
I'm sure if you asked someone or Supreme, they'd give you one. No. Okay. Anyway, while he gets out of his poncho, before we continue the weird questions game, I was just going to ask you, because I've obviously been checking your Instagram and stuff like that. I've seen that you seem to be quarantining apart from Austin, your partner, right? Is that happening?
Yes.
That must be difficult.
Yes. Well, yeah. So it's been 3 weeks and it sucked. And then I was watching the news yesterday and they were talking about how if you have like isolated apart from your significant others or other family members and you'd rather do it together, after about 2 weeks, they said that would be fine if you guys then stuck together. So then I called him up yesterday. I was like, yo.
Oh
it's
my
on.
God.
Oh,
We just got a dead light. Give me 30 seconds.
yes.
Sorry, I'm turning on these lights so you can see us. Hang on. There we go. Carry on. Apologies.
So then, anyway, I finally convinced him to, because I've been super paranoid about all of this.
Yeah.
And being super cautious. And so then he did come over last night. But then as soon as he came in, I'm like, is this bad? Do you have a cough? Should I take your temperature? I'm like really paranoid. So now he's here.
Oh, so he is here now.
So now he's here starting today.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. At least you have a companion. And do you have any pets?
I do. My dog is
dogs.
outside right now. And I have
dog.
2 roommates too, which has been nice. So I haven't been alone.
Oh, okay.
There's
That's
my dog.
good. Love that. What kind of dog?
She is just full junkyard mutt.
Nice. Love that. And what's her
I
name?
set up a hammock the other day.
Oh, and you've got a nice view with the hammock. If we did that, we'd just be staring at a brick wall. Yeah. We're in an estate. You're probably in some hill somewhere, which is very nice. I degraded your hill, but I bet it's a very nice hill. I wish I was
It's an okay hill.
We don't really have hills unless you want to freeze to death. No one lives on hills in England. But anyway, let's carry on with this. What is your cure for hiccups?
Holding my breath and swallowing 3 times while holding my breath.
That's a good one. That's right.
basically
Now,
what I
now
do.
I'm gonna call it here because I do know that the live stream is about to end shortly.
That is true.
Because it ends every hour, and we've been pretty much catching on to the hour each time. So we do have about 2 or 3 extra minutes because we were a bit late with the last one, but it should end very shortly.
I have time for one more question.
All right, one more question. Really
Let's see if we can answer it.
What's the spiciest thing you've ever eaten?
Oh, oh God. Some type of pepper I had once, and I almost vomited all over my food.
That's incredible.
Oh no, it was awful. It was like, sometimes they're supposed to clean out the seeds so something's not spicy.
Yeah.
And then I ate, and I had to leave. I had to go get fresh air and take a seat because it was bad, crying.
Yeah. Everyone's had a bad spicy experience.
Spicy visitor.
Yeah, spicy visitor.
That's what you have afterwards.
It has been wonderful having you on. Everyone has enjoyed your company. I can tell from all the comments. Go listen to his podcast.
everybody.
And make sure you rewatch Glee. It's exceptional. It's artwork. Although that won't benefit Kevin in any way. Won't benefit Kevin, but watch it anyway.
Yeah. Victoria!
Thank you for joining us. Victoria's about to join us now. Victoria is, yes. And make sure, everyone, you keep donating for Kevin. I'm sure Kevin would want you to donate to charity.
To the charity. Absolutely.
Sebastian
Donate, support the good causes.
Children's Hospital. Those two.
Thank you, boys. I'll check in later to see if you're still awake.
Thank you, Kevin.
That'll be amazing.
We appreciate that.
Kevin.
See you later.
Enjoy
Bye, Kevin. Love Kevin. Right, we're going to wait for this one to end.